Testing, testing, check, 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 testing. One, two, three, check. Well, let's do this indeed. And that's how you do that in the morning. Of course, you know why I start my live broadcast here at 4:20 in the morning, so that I can get past the technical difficulties before we get here. It seems as though my computer decided to do a crash and burn this morning on me. Hopefully, it will not happen again. But you never know, because that is live, baby. That's live action. That's the way it is. Good morning, y'all. It is June 4th. I was going to say 19, but it is 2024. It's not 19. In my house here, it's 1982, right? Everything is still good. It's all good here in 1982. I'm drinking coffee. We heard Gildersleeve this morning. It kind of did a crash and burn thing, and we had to cut it off and stitch it back on. But here we are, and hopefully things will stay kosher this morning because I have a very, 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 very special program for you. No, really, this is something that we have all been waiting to see for 44 years. I kid you not, people. This is the shit. This is the bomb. I'm not going to play it right away because I understand that others will be joining us this morning. Others are going to be joining us this morning. I got two entrances in my drawing last night. Two people typed drawing into the comments, which is all you have to do, right? All you got to do, I'm going to put that here in the comments here. Initializing. Okay. Hello, weirdos. Oh, this thing sucks. Weirdos, comma. To enter the drawing, all you have to do is enter the word drawing into the comments. Chat bar. All right, now let me enhancelate this here. Hello. Hello. There you go. Drawing. The word drawing. That's it. That's it. The word drawing. That's it. That's all you gotta do, people. P-apples. And we're gonna let this live feed. We're gonna let this live feed go for a little while here, and see how it works, and then we will be booting up the movie. It's not a movie, it's a TV show. It's a TV show from 1980, and you guys are going to love it. You're going to love it. Let me see if I'm still on here. Do-wacka-do, wacka-do. I am so glad I chose that song, Do-wacka-do. I have loved it ever since I was a kid, and every time I play it, I can't help but be excited. Okay, well, it looks like I'm live again. I'm live, babies. I'm live at 5. So there could be somebody else watching. If you're watching, please know that this is telethon day. I will be on all day. I will stop this live feed after the show and start a new one, and I will continue on until the evening show, and then I will start that live feed and start a new one for the evening, and then etc., etc., etc. At some point today, I may put something on for you to watch or listen to and go lay down. That's how that works, because I'm old and burned, and sometimes I just got to go take a nap, and that's all there is to it. If that's the case, I may leave you with something to watch, something to listen to. Speaking of something to watch, I can't wait until later when I can share this program with you. This program that I have been searching for years. I have been looking for this program for years. I finally found 2 or 3 copies, 2 or 3 episodes. Right? It's a 1-season show. It has 2 sister programs that came out about the same period. One series spawned this series and another one. They're very similar in nature. They are a semi-variety show. And that's all I'm going to say about that. You have to guess. You have to guess what show it is. Speaking of television, I found Barnaby Jones last night. Barnaby Jones. He's on YouTube. So now my wife and I can continue watching the exploits of Barnaby Jones and his daughter-in-law. Wink, wink. Betty Jones, played by the marvelous, fantastic, beautiful, as ever, Lee Meriwether. Lee Meriwether's still around and looking fantastic. Cheers, Lee Meriwether. That's good stuff right there. Well, live feed looks good. I got no comments coming in. But that's not to say that they're not out there, right? Because sometimes they're there and sometimes they're not there. Right? Oh my gosh, no way. You know what? I'm really, really excited about being alive, right? I feel like that every morning I get to wake up. I feel like, wow, I'm a lucky guy. I am one lucky dude that I actually get to be alive again today. It's not always. So some people wake up dead, and ain't that a shame? That sucks. I gotta light me an incense here, because it's morning time. The Underdog, see, it's Television Tuesday, so I'm wearing the Underdog. How many people used to watch The Underdog? Anybody? I still watch The Underdog. I got The Underdog on DVD. So, totally, baby. Totally, baby. Do wacka frickin' do, man. Man, do wacka do, man. Yeah. I am totally excited about all of this. I'm excited about my daughter graduating from college and going to university. I'm excited about her having such awesome friends. I'm excited about my daughter taking me to another concert next week. Oh my gosh. It seems I can't slow down as much as I want to. I used to have unlimited time to just lay in bed and sleep and flounder, right? Flounder. And as much as I try, I can never get there anymore. I can never get to the point to where I can just stay in bed. Which is a good thing, because I spent most of my life hiding from the world, crawling back into bed, as it were. No more. I'm sleepy as hell. I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. So, I got about 4 hours sleep last night. I got into bed about 10, got to sleep at about, well, after 10, I got to sleep at about, it had to be before midnight. I woke up at midnight and took a leak. I woke up at about 3 in the morning and took a leak. These breaks do not help me get good sleep. No, not in not at all. Not in any way does getting up in the middle of the night to take a leak several times help me sleep. It just does not. I don't sleep well as it is. I've suffered my entire life with insomnia, and now YouTube is my insomnia. It's my cure, and it's where I use up all my insomnia time, right? If I'm not here live, I'm creating content. If I'm not doing any of that, I'm watching TV with my wife, hanging out with my daughter, or trying to get a quick nap in, right? Looks like the signal is really strong this morning. We keep hanging up over 7,000 kilobytes per second, and usually it's dipping down below that into the sixes. But this is fantastic. That means that keep your fingers crossed, we're going to be able to play that show and not have any interruptions in the, because I'll start it over again. If we start watching that show and my shit dies here, I'll start the damn show over again. I'll do it. I will do it. So as you know, the wife and daughter and I went to see Starcrawler over the weekend on Friday, right? And we went with some friends. We invited some friends to go along, and they were half-hearted because, like my daughter at the time, they didn't really know who these guys were. And they brought their eldest daughter along to the show. And what was really neat was none of us had even heard of the opener before, the Velveteers, right? And the four of us, my wife and daughter and I and our friend's daughter, are all up in the front, right up in the front center. And my wife takes Evelyn and she moves her over toward my daughter into the center. So she puts her right next to my daughter, right in the middle of the stage, right? And I'm like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. I'm sitting on the stage at this point, and hoping that there's going to be something for me to lean on during the show, because there's no rail. They took the rail out because these guys like to do stage dives, right? So we're watching Velveteers. My daughter and Evelyn are just having a ball. They are just like, they're right there, right? And the Velveteers were fantastic. A whole new world opened up when they started playing. It was fucking awesome. So at one point, I don't know, do I have it here? Do I have it? I'm looking to see if I have this video. So, Encore. Yeah, so I don't have it here on my graphics computer. And that's cool. That's cool. I don't want to start sharing and sending stuff from computer to computer using the cloud because it'll screw things up and my service will freeze. So you're just going to have to take my word for it that it was friggin' awesome. I am putting together a video of that night, or a couple of videos. I'm still bringing in data from phones and stuff. So be sure to type in drawing, the word drawing, in the comments bar if you haven't done so already during a live feed, and you will be entered into the second drawing. We haven't drawn anything yet. But the second drawing is for people who type in the word drawing into the comments bar. So if you're showing up and you haven't done so on any of the live feeds, do so. I already have 2 people who have typed in drawing, Joey and Brandy. So I have their names. You can't enter twice. So no purchase necessary. You don't have to be present to win. You don't have to be viewing to see that your name is called. I'm not going to say, okay, nobody, all right, I'm calling another one. It's not going to happen. I'm just going to pull a name out, and then I will contact that person at some point and say, hey, you won. What do you want? Right? I'm hoping that if my sister wins, she's got a turntable, because I can send her a whole bunch of stuff, including some of the old man's records. That would be cool, huh? So, yeah. Let's go. And even if you don't win, Brandy, I'll still send you some stuff. So totally. And this is awesome sauce. So we're at Starcrawler last night watching Velveteers, right? And the drummer, one of the drummers, comes out with a tom drum, right? And he comes out and he's banging on it. He's getting the crowd worked up, and he goes right directly to Evelyn and puts the drum in her face, and through mime asks her if she can hold this drum up over her head so he can beat on it, right? So she does so. So she holds it up, but she puts it right on the top of her head, right? Because it's got a bottom skin on it. So I got top skin. So she puts the drum. So I immediately reach over and lift that drum. If she's trying to pull it down onto her head, I'm trying to lift it up off of her head. I finally get it a couple of inches off her head and make her stabilize it there, right? So she does. My daughter's on the other side holding it up as well, keeping it stabilized. So there's 4 hands on this drum, right? And the guy just starts fucking wailing on it, just going to town. Hey, good morning, Joey. And as he's wailing on this drum, I'm reaching over to hold it off of Evelyn's head, and I've got the phone, and I'm trying to record the show, and then I realize that, oh shit, the show is here. So I finally aim the camera at the guy banging the drum over Evelyn's head, right? And I get some great footage, and then I get some great footage of him thanking them. And then he comes back and he gives them each a drumstick. He gives my daughter and Evelyn each a drumstick and says, thank you so much for your help, right? This is the drumstick that the guy gave my daughter, right? Babe. Thanks, babe. He gave this to my daughter. He gave another one to Evelyn. Also, at the end, they went and they picked up some broken pieces of drums and a pick, which was really cool. At the end of the show, at the beginning of the show, she said, "Ooh, I like their shirt. Please, let's get a shirt," right? So we got a Velveteers shirt. She didn't know who they were. She just liked the shirt, right? So we get the shirt, and then after the show, she looks at me and she says, "Can you please get me the album?" And so after Velveteers, I ran outside and I stood in line and I got this album. And as soon as I got the album, I went over to where they were pulling their equipment out through the back door, and there's the Velveteers right there, right? So I peel the plastic off of this new record, peel it off, pull out my marks a lot, and say, "Can I please get your autograph?" Babe looks at me and he says, "Give me a second. I've got to make sure I've got all of my stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, totally cool. Thank you." And he and the other drummer and Demi, all 3 signed her face. Here, let me go ahead and do my close-up cam here. They all 3 signed her face. And they were all very, baby. They were all very, very I can't express it enough. Very, very polite. They were the sweetest, kindest people in the world. Very gracious, very courteous, kind. Uh, I got handshakes, and so the best part was that I went back in there to my daughter, and I passed her this album, and she looks down, and she sees the signatures, and her face just exploded. Right? That's what being a dad is. That made me feel so in. Right? I felt like the coolest dad in the world. The second time I went out and bought a record and had them sign it right there. Boom, right there for my daughter. Not to mention the fact that we showed up so early, I was able to get Starcrawler to sign their records and meet them and get hugs. And they are the best people in the world. They really are. I can't say enough good things about Arrow and the Cash Brothers. And even their bass player. Did not learn his name, but I did get to meet him after the show. Unfortunately, he wasn't around when I had the record jackets and the pens and everything. I was real close to getting their first LP that they had there, but I had already blown the wad on 2 shirts and the record for my daughter and my shirt. So that was quite a, and then of course it was kind of a trade because my daughter got me the tickets. She takes care of all of the ticket buying because she's got the apps and the inclination, the intuitiveness. She knows how to navigate those apps and get the tickets right when they come out, right? So it's like, you know what? Why don't we just call it even? You know, she broke way ahead, but that's cool. But she's awesome sauce. All right, weirdos, enter the word drawing into the comment bar down there, and you will be entered into the next drawing, probably going to be held this evening. And if we reach 10 viewers this morning, I'll go ahead and pull some names out of a hat. I've got some more names here. Let me go ahead and read some more names that I'll be putting into the bucket, the popcorn bucket. Right. So some more names going into the popcorn bucket. Andrew Vonderschmidt and Jim Vonderschmidt, the Vonderschmidt brothers. Love you guys. Deja Neely, my daughter's friend. Tracy Roberts, an old friend from school. Tony Gerfers and Tracy Roberts. They lived literally a couple of houses away on the same block in Elsinore. Hiram Smith, Guy. Audrey and Deja and my daughter Natalie are an awesome gang of kids. Melissa Brown, one of my old Renaissance Fair buddies. Kamala Scott. Kamala Scott is an old friend from Temecula back in 1979, I think is when we first met. And Lee Hunter Jr. over there in, I'm going to want to say that Lee is in Pennsylvania? I think Lee is in either Pennsylvania or Maine. I know he's on the East Coast, and I'm not perfect at keeping up with the whereabouts of everyone, but it's a little easier on Facebook because we kind of know where they are because the little things pop up and say, hey, here's where he is. So I'm putting those names into the bucket of popcorn, and I will read off some more this evening before I hold the drawing, unless I get 10 viewers watching this morning, in which case I will cut up the rest of these names and hold a drawing. But I'm taking it easy because I'm not expecting this to go crazy this morning. While I do get more viewers in the morning, we still need to get to double what we have there. We have 5 viewers now. We need to get to 10. That's 10% of 100. I should be at closer to 11 because, well, of course, we have 112 subscribers now. That's crazy. I didn't think we were ever going to get to 100. And now we went over 100 before I could even get to this live telethon, right? Wow. Awesome sauce, baby. So we do have 2 entrances in the easy to win sign up drawing, which all you have to do is enter the word drawing into the comments. And I put you on this card. And so far there's only 2 names in that drawing. 2 names. That's a 50-50 chance to win. 2 names. Hey, we got a number 6. Enter the word drawing into the comment box there, and I will put your name for the second drawing. No purchase necessary. You don't have to be here to win. You don't have to be watching. You don't have to pay for postage as long as it's inside the United States here. So it'll be a lot of fun, and I've got a ton of crap to give away. Tons of stuff, man. So sign up. Enter the word drawing. And at some point in the second hour, possibly closer to the third hour, we will be watching a very, very special episode of a television program that we haven't seen in 44 years. I bet none of you have seen this episode at all, or at the very least since it aired back in 1980, right? March of 1980. People are Googling it. March 1980 TV show. What is it? What is it? What is it? You ain't going to find out that way, people. All you're going to have to do is stick around and watch. And in a little while, I'm going to make the video public and share it with you here. And then you'll be able to go back to my playlists for Totally Television Tuesday and watch this program that I'm going to air today. I literally took me years, decades, in fact, of searching. I've probably been searching YouTube as long as I've been on YouTube, 10 years or more. Searching for this particular video. I found a lot of stuff on video over the years on YouTube that I've enjoyed. A lot of old retro television. And, thank you, YouTube, for allowing people to bring this stuff. And allowing me to bring all of this stuff, because this is awesome. I mean, I just found Barnaby Jones. Now I can watch Barnaby Jones again. That's awesome. We can finish the series. That's just awesome sauce right there. That's totally cool. It's totally cool. It's totally cool. Speaking of television, Roku right now has all of the Sid and Marty Krofft programs. Lidsville, The Bugaloos, H.R. Puffin stuff, Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, the Bay City Rollers Saturday special. Come on, everything there from Sid and Marty Krofft is right there on Roku now. So check it out, people. Go to Roku. I was amazed. I'm sitting there watching Land of the Lost, right? And it's over, and it's kind of at the dead screen waiting for you to choose another episode. And I scroll down, and there's all of the Sid and Marty Krofft programs right there. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, scroll, save, scroll, save, scroll, save. Now I've got them all in my save. Now it's a matter of watching them, right? I'll probably get done here this morning and put some on, right? Not that I'm going to be actually done with this telethon anytime soon. All we need is 5 more viewers, and I'll chop up the rest of these names and stick them in the hat and pull one out, and we got a winner. That's all we need to do. We need 5 more. So, share this. Tell people, hey, watch this, man. I want to win the drawing. So, totally. I've still got 20 names to drop into the hat. I'm sorry. 2 of those, 18. I've got 18 names to drop into the hat. 2 of those are doubles, so they were X'd out. So 18 names still to go into the bucket. And then 5 more viewers, and I can pull those names out and pull out a name, and somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to win. I've got 45s. I've got 8-track tapes. I've got wall art. And that's just to scratch the surface. That's just some of the cool stuff. I've got so much other stuff to give away. In fact, I need to give it away because I'm running out of space. I really am. I need more space for more stuff. Last night, during part two of the telethon, I shared some of my videotapes. I've got some videotapes over here. Sigmund and the Sea Monsters on VHS, the complete collection. It is a privately made collection. Somebody did a very, very fine job printing all of this out and creating the tapes. They're awesome sauce. Really, really cool stuff. Also last night I shared a box of 8 tracks that I recently purchased. All unopened 8 tracks. I've got 30 alone from Little Richard. And what's neat about the unopened 8-track cartridges is they make great shelf knickknacks. They make great art. To have one of these little shelf things, or one of those little turnstiles with some 8 tracks in it, is really cool to have set up on a shelf, on a display, next to a little, next to a little 8-track player, an old portable, an actual car stereo 8-track player. So you put some of these things together in a little display, and it looks beautiful. Some of the other stuff that I have to give away. This album cover art stuff that I have, a lot of these things come from basically the music store. When they send out the records, they send out these displays to put on the walls and on the windows to get people into the store. Hey, look what new records we have. And they don't have to put the record in the window. They don't have to hang the record up. They can just use these displays. And I have a bunch of these displays, and as you can see, they are in immaculate condition. Many of these are pristine, right? And I will hand select a bunch of these and very meticulously fold them into paper and save them into a nice little plastic pouch, and then put them wrapped in cardboard, right? Wrapped in cardboard, and mail them to you. Boom. So you get them all nice and smooth and fold free. Now this thing I don't know where it came from, but it is really cool. You can ask for this if you win. You can see, can I have that Pretenders poster? Right, sure. That's yours. If you win, just ask for it. That's all you got to do. Tenders. Tenders, chicken tenders. Yeah. I've got a ton of this stuff. I got books. I got toys. Games. Cassettes. There's just so much. There's just so much stuff here. I look around the room and I'm like, oh, I could give that away. Oh, I could give that away. I don't want to go out into my shed, because that has just shelving units, 4 shelving units filled floor to ceiling with vintage stuff. I've got one whole shelf that's 3 feet wide by 18 inches deep, that's 1.5 feet tall, that's stacked like a giant solid brick of 8 tracks, right? There's hundreds of 8 tracks out there. There's hundreds of 8 tracks up in my boxes here, hundreds in a drawer, hundreds and hundreds of 45s, hundreds of LPs, 78s, cassettes, books, you name it. And if you win, you get it. That's all you got to do. When we get to 500 subscribers, it's going to get off the hook, all right? I'm going to be giving away stereos, TVs, VCRs, right? He's crazy, man. He's giving away crazy stuff. Yeah, that's me, crazy man. Crazy old weird bearded guy. So I'm going to be giving away stuff. I'm going to be giving away the bomb stuff. And it's all real. It's all vintage. It's all free. And this coffee's cold. I'll be right back. Crazy man, crazy man. He's a crazy man. Crazy man, crazy. No wedgie, no wedgie, no wedgie. Crazy man, crazy man, crazy man. He's a crazy man. Oh, hey man, he's a crazy man. Crazy man, crazy man. Crazy man, crazy man. All right, people. If you haven't done so already, enter the word drawing into the comments chat bar there. And I will enter you into the second drawing. That only has 2 people in it right now. If you've already entered, you're entered. But there's room for plenty more. Right? It's a big popcorn bucket, and there's only 2 names in it for that drawing. For the comment bar drawing. For the subscriber/friends list drawing, there you go. There you have it. That's already ready already. We've got 18 more names to read and drop in that bucket. And then we just need to reach 10 viewers. We get to 10 viewers at once, and I'm pulling a name out. And whoever wins, I'm going to send them a message, get with them personally, and curate a little gift package specifically for that person. I want to know what they like about the 70s and 80s, what their favorite TV shows, movies, music, bands, celebrities, the games. I mean, what was their shtick back in the 80s or 70s? And if you didn't live back then, well, what is it about the 70s and 80s that you like? You know, tell me something. Give me some input, and I will pick out the most awesome gift pack for you. I've just about completed putting together a gift box that has to go out this week. So help me finish off this telethon so I can get out to the post office and do my stuff. I mean, I need to get out and do a couple of things, and I can't do them because I'm either tied to this studio thing here or in bed recuperating. I'm hoping we can wrap this thing up today or by tonight, and I can move on and get back to editing videos. I can't do much with my computers when I'm here like this. My main computer here is tied up through live feed, so I can't do anything there or it's going to slow down. I can't really do anything over on this computer because it's the slower computer, so I can't really do any, and all of my really good data for editing is over on this computer, the editing computer, so I'd have to cloud up and swap stuff, and it just becomes a pain in the arse. So I'm going to be waiting until I get this telethon thing done, and then I'm going to get back to editing that video stuff that I do so well and so enjoy, and I have so much video to edit. I have got so many things on my plate here. My dance card is full, babies. Pardon me. So we're getting closer to the second hour. At some point during the second hour, closer to the third hour, we're going to watch that very special television program that I promised. I loaded it up a few days back so that I could make sure that YouTube does its checks and balances and makes sure that I'm kosher. Everything's cool to play this. I don't want to PT. I don't want to hump the bunk again like I did last night. I tried to play the movie His Girl Friday, and I got kicked off. And it wasn't my fault. I swear it wasn't my fault. I thought for sure that His Girl Friday was one of those movies that we were allowed to share. But I was mistaken, people. So last night's nonsense and nostalgia may very well have been compromised and cut off a little early. I see the program is there, and I got 21 views last night. Mainly probably due to the fact that the words drawing and telethon were in my description. And then when people are buzzing around, those keywords pop up and they're like, ooh, drawing. Also, when my live feed is happening, it gets thrown in the faces of a lot of people who look at it and go, who the fuck is this guy? Oh my God. And then they pop in for a second and go, oh, no way. I ain't watching this fucking freak. And so I get viewers and I lose viewers. I get viewers and I lose viewers. I get viewers, and if they're hanging around, then more than likely we know each other, and they're able to tolerate my blah blah blah. Mm. Oh, that is so good. I love coffee in the morning. I go to sleep at night actually with the thought of coffee in my head, right? When I'm sitting here at the computer dozing off at midnight, 1 in the morning, finally getting to where I'm tired enough to go lay down for a couple of hours, the one constant thought that goes through my head is morning time coffee. I can get up as soon as I'm done with this stupid sleep shit. I can get up and have some coffee, and that's important. It really is. Without coffee, I cannot function. If I try to do this morning show without coffee, I've done it. It's a flub. I've done it with tea, and it's not the same. I've done it without caffeine, and it sucks. It sucks to be here. I can't put words together. My mouth doesn't work. I yawn a lot. I mean, it's horrible. So yeah, totally manage videos. So at some point, I'm gonna have to turn on this video for us to watch. I don't want to turn it on too early because then people will be watching it before I'm ready, and I don't want that. I want people to watch it with me, man. And there it is. It's got a couple of commercials. It's 49 minutes long. It's almost the full hour of the program. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So while my first Grateful Dead video has received so many views, it is at almost 900 views. My first Grateful Dead video. It didn't take long for that to happen. It was like up over 100 within a couple of days. The second Grateful Dead video that I have uploaded is only at 21. Curious. I assumed that another Grateful Dead video would get a lot of hits. 153 views on Delta House episode 1. Now you can find all of those episodes on YouTube with another YouTuber. He's put them all up there. I will probably load up the next 2 that I have and throw them out there so that people know that there's more going on, and then at some point put a link to that guy's playlist, because how awesome is it that somebody's already uploaded that shit, right? And the stuff that we're watching today has probably been uploaded. I've probably found it there, possibly. But I'm real excited about actually bringing it to you here. I really wanted to do the parent episode and the sister episode, or parent series and sister series, but the parent series is right now on I'm gonna say Prime. It's on Prime Video. Amazon Prime Video. You can probably watch the parent series of this series that we're going to watch today. I'm not going to say it yet, because as soon as I say it, you'll get it. Especially if you're from the 70s or 80s. You'll know it right away. If you haven't guessed it already. Okay, lava lamp cam. Oh, yeah, look at that lava lamp. It's looking good this morning. If you don't have a lava lamp, go to Home Depot and get the original lava lamp, right? You can get a lava lamp at Walmart that is a little skinnier and taller and a little more artsy fartsy. It's the wrong one. It's not the same. This is an original copy of the original lava lamp. So this is an original. It's not from the 70s or 80s. This is a Home Depot, but it is a lava lamp. So go to Home Depot or wherever they sell lava lamps and get yourself a lava lamp. They are a lot of fun. I enjoy it just being on and being able to look over and see it and enjoy those little bubbly spheres dancing around. It doesn't look half as good on the screen here as it does in person. So get yourself one. They're fucking awesome. And they're cheap. I think it was like less than $20 or something, you know. And it is just a fantastic, fantastic piece of nostalgia, man. I love lava lamps. I never had one growing up. I remember friends having them, and it being kind of a weird thing with all of the stuff inside, and then when it's cold, and then when it heats up and all that. But I never owned one until recently. And I love it. It makes me want to buy more retro vintage stuff. You know what I really need is I need a neon sign that says on air. That's what I need. I need a neon sign that says on air so that I can have it in here in my room and have it on when I'm doing this, and have it maybe on back here somewhere, right? So that it can be seen while I'm on. That's cool. That's neat stuff right there. Also, I need to get another camera in here. I was going to have 3 camera angles for this week, but the camera that I got from eBay, of course, the guy dropped it into a padded envelope and mailed it to me, so it got here as a piece of shit. I did not accept the $20 refund because then he would require me to take back the comments that I made. And the comments that I made were, "You're an idiot." I mean, if you can't figure out fucking how to use bubble wrap in a box, you're an idiot. Well, one of my other people shipped it, and they're to blame. Fuck you. Don't give me that bullshit. That's a bullshit excuse. Other people. It's your fucking responsibility. You know, blame it. And they're your people, but they don't know not to put electronic stuff into just a padded envelope. Give me a fucking break. You know that he did it, and he's just making excuses, right? Fucking bullshit. So I spent $20 on a camera that turned out to be a piece of shit. Hopefully I can use some of it for something, right? No card, no battery, no box, no nothing. It just came a camera in a fucking padded envelope. So at some point I have to get a new one so that I can extend it to 3 camera angles in here. Look, I've got a dead camera. I got no camera here. I need a camera in that spot. Got a camera here, got a camera here, got a camera here. I need a camera here. So there you go. I wanted to bring you 3 camera angles. That would be looking at this side of the room over here that we never get to see. My wall unit, the TV, the shelves of books, the corkboard, my crates stacked up in that corner over there. Everything. It's all, you know, I want it all on screen at some point. I'm going to also set up some little USB cameras that I can play through a program in my computer. It won't look perfect, but I can show you different parts of the room. And then, of course, I still haven't learned how to use my editing and live gear to the fullest of its abilities, right? Mainly because I don't have enough time to sit and learn this stuff. I'm always running around doing shit, and it's making me crazy. Because there's so much that I want to do, and so little time, and so few waking hours, right? Even though I only sleep about 4 hours in the evening and about 2 hours in the afternoon, it's still, I don't have enough waking hours. I need to, like, not sleep at all. All right, that's what I need. I need the ability to not sleep and continue working for like a week at a time, and then sleep for a day. Work for a week and sleep for a day. Work for a week and sleep for a day. You know, 6 days on, 1 day off. 6 days on, 1 day off. If I could do that, I could get so much accomplished. Now, having grown up with insomnia my entire life, I pretty much feel like I've led a double life, right? Everybody else is asleep and I'm awake. I've spent a lot of that time watching television, because what else are you going to do in the middle of the night when everybody else is asleep, right? Well, steal time on that television. That's what I used to do. And the TV was my best friend growing up. I mean, really. my best friend, my teacher, my babysitter, my confidant. But I learned so much from the TV. You know, a lot of people just learn the bad shit, but I learned a lot of good stuff. I learned my vocabulary. I learned a lot about science and medicine. I learned a ton about history, and I learned so much about humanity watching television, PBS, and the news, and so many programs have kind of shaped who I am, you know. So TV is like a huge part of my life. As a child, as a young adult, all through growing up, TV has always been there. And I know a lot of people who don't watch TV. TV is not a part of their lives. TV is like, every once in a while I watch a news or something, or I watch a documentary or a movie or something, but I don't watch TV every day. I mean, I know people who just look at TV as just one of these little things, right, that come and go, and every once in a while they experience it, right? And it's like, I'm the opposite. It's like life comes and goes, and every once in a while I experience it, but most of the time I experience things through the TV. At least that's the way it was most of my life, right? Now I'm on TV experiencing life, which is weird. I always wanted my own show. Never thought I would have the opportunity, and never thought that I would have any reason to do something like this. And I guess if you've been watching for the last 5 months, I still don't really have a reason for doing any of this. Other than posterity. Other than bringing my life out there to others, to kind of encapsulate me, for lack of a better term, so that I'm always there, you know, so my daughter can turn on the TV and there I am. Whether I'm here or not, I'll still be here. And, you know, and the things in my head will be saved because I will have gotten them out. I will have shared many of my experiences by the time I'm done with this experiment. This weird thing that I started here. And I don't look at the people who subscribe as subscribers per se, and more like new friends, old friends, new friends, people who are weird like me or not weird like me, but weird enough to want to hang out, right? And that's pretty cool. That's pretty dang cool. I mean, I didn't realize, and I never fathomed, that I would get 112 people to subscribe to this weirdness, right? To take a chance on being entertained, to take a chance on being shown your own reflection, right? Who am I? What's it all about? What does it mean? Pardon me. Don't we all ask those questions? Don't we? I mean, I pretty much ask these questions every single day. Who am I? What's it all about? What does it all mean? Where the fuck are we going? What, you know? And I've come to the conclusion that holy hell. I've come to the conclusion that the meaning of life is life. I mean, that's it. There's no meaning to life. You're born, you live, you die. That's it. The meaning, if there was one, it would be lost on humanity anyway, because humanity is so narcissistic and wrapped up in its own bullshit that I don't even think humanity knows what the fucking humanity wants, right? We're all so segregated, separated, and divided, you know. And it seems like the only thing the powers that be want is for us to remain that way, at each other's throats, in constant competition with each other. So therefore, it's easier to stick a gun in somebody's hand and say, "Go kill that guy." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, 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 sir. No. No, humanity needs to move past that. The world has become such a small place that I can reach out and literally reach out and touch somebody from the other side of the country, albeit through the internet and the phone and stuff. But still, you know, I've been in communication with people on the other side of the planet on my show, right? And they're just like me. They're no different than me, you know. They're human. They have likes and dislikes, loves, wants and desires, dreams, aspirations, They eat, they sleep, they dream, they drink, they love, they laugh, they live, I mean, why do we have to read any more differences into anything? Why? It doesn't do anybody any good. It just causes divisiveness. We have more things in common on this planet than we do that separate us. But the powers that be want to focus on the things that separate us, because keeping us separate means money in their pockets, means votes, means control, means power, right? Stand up and fight off the dumbasses. If you're just joining us, enter the word drawing into the comment chat bar and you're entered into the drawing. Otherwise, just stay weird. I'm going to heat up my coffee. Tenders. Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And you know what I said?
There's no need to fear. Underdog is here. Baby.
Baby. Underdog, baby. It's Totally Television Tuesday, and we totally have some totally awesome television today that we are going to watch. It is a program that I know I've been building up the suspense for days here. It's a program that we haven't seen in 44 years. 44 years we have been waiting to see this program. I remember watching this show and the other two shows back in Temecula in 1980. At that point, all three shows were on TV. And they were some of the finest television that ABC has ever put out, right? It was just awesome television, awesome. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Vern? You know what I mean? Let's see, where is it? There it is. Yeah, just great stuff. I uploaded it yesterday. Yeah, and so far there's no restrictions. They're going to allow me to play it, and I'm so excited because I've been looking forever to find this show, and I will try to dig up the other ones. Tomorrow we have 3 old-time radio shows. There was going to be 4, but I decided to use that show for the nighttime nonsense and nostalgia because it's a music program. So I thought, okay, it's old-timey music. So I shared it last night. It was fun. So today we have, or not today, but tomorrow, this week, on Old Time Radio Wednesday, we have, oh shit, what the hell do we have? We've got stuff. We've got X-1, we've got Beyond Midnight, and Baby Snooks. Now, Baby Snooks is, do you remember Fanny Bryce? Funny Girl? Barbara Streisand? Fanny Bryce, okay? She did a radio program where she played a little girl, Baby Snooks. I love that program. She does such a great voice. The character, the father character, is fantastic. Leroy, the little brother, is freaking awesome. It's just a great show. They were short episodes at first, like the Bickersons. They started off as little 10, 15-minute shows, and then eventually they moved into their own half-hour time slot. But Baby Snooks is just the awesomest show. Fanny Bryce is a funny lady. Beyond Midnight is... it is a series that I found 20 years ago when I would scour the internet looking for old-time radio shows. and I would use my iPod. Remember iPods? Would use my iPod MP3 player, and I would upload all these old-time radio shows onto my iPod. And then I could just scroll through my iPod and listen to old radio shows, and then plug that into the little cassette thing with the cord and plug that into my iPod and sit and listen to these things in my car, right, at work on lunchtime. So I was scrolling through my external hard drive, which contains information from it contains the hard drive data from three previous computers on this hard drive, right? So I'm looking through, and here's a file that says music and more, right? And I go through, and it's got my iPod cache, and it's got a bunch of other, it's got this huge file of lists of all of these radio shows that I used to listen to 20 years ago. And I see this file that says Beyond Midnight. I'm like, well, what's that? I remember that, but I don't. So I listened to it, and then I researched, and it turns out Beyond Midnight was a 1960s radio show from South Africa. And I didn't know that. And it was like, wow, that's cool. So on some weird radio station that I've never heard of before. So I was like, okay, this is cool. Not only do we get to hear radio from the old days, but we get to hear it from other countries as well. What were they listening to? What kind of programs were they creating for their audience, right? So that's really cool. So we got 3 programs. Of course, X-1 is another in the series. We are at episode 15 now. Courtesy is one of my favorite episodes. So be sure to stop by tomorrow morning and enjoy that, or come by later after we watch it, and it will be in a playlist. Awesome sauce. All of the little spheres are dancing up towards the top of my lava lamp. They're trying to get out. Yeah. So a week from today, I will be sitting here in recovery from going out to see Motion City Soundtrack with my daughter. She's taking me to see another band that's been around forever, but I never heard of them. 1995, I stopped listening to music. I stopped listening to the radio. I continued to listen to my music. ELO, ABBA, that kind of shit, Bee Gees. But I pretty much gave up on new music. Stopped listening to the radio, stopped watching music videos, and would just put on a tape or a CD, right? And then it got to the point to where I didn't even listen to the radio in my car, unless it was an old-time radio or talk radio or something. I got to the point to where I didn't have a radio in my house. I got a dog that's freaking out here. I'll be right back. All right, dogs rescued. I am the doggy doorman in the mornings. So yeah, no radio in the house, nothing. We listened to music on the Music Choice channel on cable or satellite, right? And that was it. Put on 70s and it'd be on. So about 10 years ago, I started listening to music with my daughter, right? Mainly I was playing for her Rolling Stones, Rush, Led Zeppelin, all the old classic stuff. And I'm playing all of this stuff for her. We're playing video games and listening to music and stuff. So she's starting to get into the classics, right? And then she gets into junior high and gets her phone and starts to experience music on her own level, right? And enjoying music with her peers, which is completely different from the stuff that I was used to listening to, right? I was not into anything new. I hadn't experienced anything new, right? And she came along and a few years ago started sharing her musical tastes with me. Probably a little timid at first, thinking, oh, he's not going to like my stuff because he likes this old stuff, right? And far from the truth. It seems that her musical tastes pick up in 1995 where mine left off, right? So I take us up to 1995, and she takes us beyond that, from there and beyond. Of course, she has a lot of musical interests back in the 70s and 80s, but her main musical interests start in the mid-90s, right, and forward. So I'm able to introduce her to the old stuff. She's able to introduce me to older stuff that's new to me. And we have such an awesome experience with that music being our bonding agent, right? She's not into TV or movies. Once in a while, I'll pick out a good movie to watch with her, like His Girl Friday, and we'll watch it, and she'll just be like, "Wow." A few weeks ago, I watched the Cactus Flower with Goldie Hawn, Walter Matthau. And it was such a fantastic movie. She got an Academy Award for it, and I'd known about the movie. I got it on tape or video here somewhere. So I watched this, and then all of a sudden it comes back on, and it's just starting, and I'm saying, oh, you guys got to watch this movie. I just watched it, so I'm going to go lay down and go to sleep. But you need to watch it. If you want to watch a movie, watch this movie. And they did. And together they sat here and they watched that whole movie, and they got into another movie. But it's nice that I can take stuff to my daughter and say, check this out. Let me get her a place to sit. Here you go, baby girl. Here you go, baby girl. There you go. There's your chair. There's your chair. There's your chair. All right. And get that chair set up for the big dog, because she's a big dog. She needs a big chair. She likes the little chairs. They're like a hug. Yeah. So, like, where was I? So, like, my daughter, right? She's just got such fantastic taste in music, of course. She's my daughter, right? And we have such similar tastes. While she'll be listening to new stuff, look at that bald head. Woo. She'll be listening to new stuff that has such a huge slant to the past, right? And I can listen to her new stuff and go, ooh, I hear elements from the past in there, right? And it's about time, because so much of the music over the last 25 years has just been garbage, right? And it's like they're trying too hard. And now people are able to experience more music from the past and tie that into the present, right? And that's fucking awesome. Well, my live feed looks really, really good. And we are in the second hour of programming. And so, as I promised, I am going to shortly be playing an episode of a TV show that we haven't seen in 44 years. Can I build up suspense or what? He's smoking that shit again, Marge. Leave him alone, Harry. He's killing pain. Hey, he's a bum. He's a pot-smoking bum. Pretty close. Pretty close. Kind of diesely. That stuff. A little bit diesely. Strawberry cough. Is that what that is? Good stuff. But a little coffee. Strawberry cough. It's got a little bit of a diesel hint to it. Oh, we got 5 viewers. type drawing into the comments bar, and I'll enter you into the drawing. There's no purchase necessary. You don't have to be here to win. You just got to type drawing into the comment box. And then that's it. And then I'm going to be going through my videos at something before the drawing and trying to pull out names of people who have entered the drawing before, right? So let's, in fact, let's go over to live, and let's go to my playlist from yesterday and see 100 part 2. So that's last night. Okay, so let's go to last night's telethon, the end of the program where I got cut off. And here we are. Let's see. Yeah, there's that, the beginning of that movie. And we got comments, no comments, no comments, no comments, no comments. Yep, yeah, that movie starts and they boot me right off of there. Right? And I don't see any comments here in the last night's nighttime nonsense and nostalgia. So I'm going to assume that nothing was commented upon last night. So part 2, I did get some comments, and I'm going to go to the last part of the show and pause and go down to comments and sort by top comments. And I'm not getting any comments from last night, even though I know that newest first, top comments. Yeah, I'm not getting any comments in my chat from last night. So that's a bummer. That's a bummer. I was expecting to be able to go back to the show and see comments, but no. 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 Scroll over here. Comments. Yeah, I'm not getting any comments in the comments section. Well, that's. I guess I'm just gonna have to pay attention, and if I don't see the comment come in, then I don't see it come in. I mean, I can't wrestle with this YouTube thing because it's just mucking me about. Right. So there. Yeah. That's crazy. It's crazy, man. But if you want to enter the drawing, just type drawing into the comments chat box here, and I will get back to you. Is it live? Now it's live. And I will let's see, let me go here to my phone here and go back into the comments. Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody's typed in anything recently. That's all you got to do to win or to enter. And at this point, there's only 2 people in the secondary drawing here. There's over 100 people in the first one, but the secondary drawing, for the people who type in drawing, there's like nobody there. It's 2 people. That's 50% chance that one of those people is going to win. That is a really good odds. Yeah, I mean, even if 2 more people, that's 25% chance that you're going to win. So we were at 6 viewers here a minute ago. 6. We were almost there, people. As soon as we get to 10, I'm pulling names out of a bucket. All right. If I can do it during this show, that would be fantabulous. That would be awesome sauce. That would pretty much finish up part 1 of this telethon, and then I would just need to do that little second drawing. And if that means that we're going to keep 10 more viewers and reach 20, or just continue with all right, if 10 people stay with me for 10 more minutes, I'm going to hold that next drawing. Something like that, right? So I'm making this up as I go. Any rules that I make, I'm going to stick to. But, I think the only cheating that I've done is make sure that we have at least 2 viewers. and me, myself, and then I. So if we can get past 2 viewers, which right now we're at 3, and I'm pretty sure that's Joey. If we can get past 3, now if you guys are out there watching and you can see the number of viewers is greater than I am saying, well, then there's just something a little bit wonky here. And you need to hook me up. You need to set me straight. Dude, I totally see like there's 12 viewers. Well then, yeah, let me know. I can't navigate this YouTube thing all that well. All right, I've got my TV over here. It's showing me my live picture, and every once in a while a little chat will pop up, right? But that's pretty much it. Let me go down and up and over to the chat box, live chat, and bring up the live chat and see if I get successfully connected. Am I going to get some chat box up here? Because that would be neat if I could see chat history on my screen here. But I'm not getting it. And then I have my telephone over here where I'm checking my live stream and getting an idea of what comments are coming in. But that's pretty much it. So if we're getting any comments that I'm not seeing, be sure to let me know, somebody. One of them viewers, one of them regular viewers. That would be cool. So the suspense is building. I'm getting real excited about watching this next show. And if you're just tuning in, be sure to type drawing into the chat box, and you're entered into the drawing. Just type the word drawing. That's it. No purchase necessary. You don't have to be here to win. I'll pay for the shipping as long as it's in the continental United States. So no big deal. We are just about ready to play a TV show from 1980 that we haven't seen in 44 years. It never went into syndication. They didn't. It only was one season. It had a couple of other programs that this spawned from, but this was the weird one. This was the weird one. The other two were great. They were more. You were easier relatable to those other two. This one was like the weird redheaded stepchild, right, of those two programs. So I'm going to do a bong hit here and then get ready. All right, people. Getting real excited. I'm so totally excited. And I'll be sitting here watching it with you, doing bong hits, commenting. If you want to watch it without me doing bong hits and commenting, you'll have to go to the playlist and watch it there. I hope that you'll stay with me now and watch it, and then go there later and watch it. Looking at my comments, nothing new coming in yet. Here is the program. I am making it public, publishing, and that's it. That's all she wrote. Go here, refresh, and oh man, I can't wait, people. I hope I can dig up some of the other stuff, the other sister program to this, and bring it to you. And next week, if YouTube lets me, I have a couple of, I have some great stuff for movie day, TV day, old time radio day. Oh, next week's going to be fantastic too. All right, people, here we are. I got my headgear on. I'm ready to rock and roll, rocking and a rolling and a rolling and a rocking and a rocking and a rolling and a rocking and a rolling. Let's see. Playlist. Playlist. Totally Television Tuesday playlist. Go down to the new edition. You remember the new edition? They were totally cool. Yeah, we don't need to be here. Remove from playlist, so we can get rid of this one from that playlist. All right, here we go. I am going to get it booted up here. I loaded this onto my channel, so there are no commercials. So you can watch it commercial-free in my playlist. There are a few commercials within the program that are original. Oh, I'm real excited about this. Woo! Okay, people, here we go. Here we go. We haven't seen this in 44 years, and it is exciting. Here we go.
Tonight, a gunshot solves a medical mystery.
Recognize that voice?
What are these people looking at? You'll be amazed. This ski jump is very beautiful and spectacular, and obviously too dangerous for you to try.
Anybody guess what this is? Anybody? Anybody guess what program this is? Huh? Come on, hurry, type it in there. Somebody guess before it comes on. That's awesome sauce. Yeah. You know what that is? That's incredible. Woo, I just got chills, people. I got chills.
I'm John Davidson with a lot more that's incredible. Tonight, something more than incredible, something impossible. The temperature of this molten aluminum is 1,600 degrees. Now, the temperature of Mike Sharkozzi's hand is 98.6. Tonight, you'll see Mike pass his hand through a stream of molten metal. I'm Fran Tarkenton.
Fran Tarkenton.
With a question that has intrigued people for years. Will identical twins separated at infancy grow up different or alike? Tonight we'll meet a pair of twins named Jim who were separated for 39 years.
Both named Jim.
I'm Kathy Lee Crosby.
Kathy Lee.
In certain parts of the world, the cockroach is a gourmet delight. But
I don't know
these
why
are
the sound
New
is
York
off.
cockroaches. And tonight we're going to tell you everything you always wanted to know about the cockroach, and probably a little more.
The sound just seems a little askew.
It's not
from the
incredible
video.
for a man to jump out of a plane at 12,000 feet. But Steve Baker's going to jump out of this plane backwards.
And handcuffed.
And in a police
Probably
restraining
over Lake
jacket.
Elsinore.
That's incredible. And there'll be a lot more that's incredible on...
That's incredible.
That's incredible. Maybe that's why I got away with uploading it, because the sound was off. Or maybe they did, or maybe it happened in the editing program. I couldn't have, because the sound wasn't separate. It's probably the original video. I don't think this is episode 1.
Good
I think I have
evening
it
and welcome
built
to That's Incredible. What we're going to look like when we get old is a subject that interests all of us. Conceptual artist Nancy Burson has been experimenting with a technique that would project the human face any number of years into the future.
With a camera attached to a computer, she was able to demonstrate changes involved in the aging process.
Here's a sample of Nancy Burson's remarkable technique.
This young lady is 19, and we're going to watch her age by a number of decades.
You know, the
Her
computer has
eyebrows
a
should be
sophisticated program which is able to literally age younger features before our eyes.
But it sounds like
This young man is 28. He didn't believe he'd age like this, but when he saw the final picture, he said it looked like his grandfather.
pretty soon Nancy Burson's machine will be available to the general public.
Does it go backwards as well as forwards?
Absolutely.
I choose backwards.
Gosh, that's cute. Oh, baby face. Incredible. It's totally incredible.
You know, you would think that being one of the most disliked creatures on the face of the earth, the cockroach would be extinct by now.
But he isn't. In fact, the cockroach has been around virtually unchanged for 300 million years. One of nature's true success stories.
Good morning, Jacob.
And
Be
while
sure to type
cockroaches are
drawing
disgusting
into
to
the
us,
comments bar
they're
to
the
enter the
delight
drawing.
of entomologists,
You're
those
already
who
in the
study
first
insects.
one, but this is
They are an animal
a
that's
simpler
very
drawing.
easy to
It's only
study.
you
They're
and
the type
Joey
of animal that
and
can
my
answer a lot
sister
of
if you answer.
questions.
So type in
Although
the
it
word
took
drawing.
several years of nightmares for me to get used to working with these creatures.
The sight of a bunch of cockroaches is enough to send chills down nearly anyone's spine.
Yeah.
But in a rooftop greenhouse at New York's Museum of Natural History, cockroaches are the object of a special study by entomologist Dr. Betty Faber.
I'm in this greenhouse because it is filled with wild cockroaches. How do you go about studying wild cockroaches? Well, you do have to come in and look at them a lot
awesome.
at nighttime,
Jacob is
but
our
you
third
really can't
contestant.
tell them apart. So I'm here to label the cockroaches. You may think that this is just a filthy mayonnaise jar. To me, it's a cockroach trap. I usually put a little piece of rotten or rotting banana in the bottom.
Rotting.
It has a really delightful odor, at least as far as cockroaches are concerned. They crawl up the side of the jar. They fall in to get the rotten banana, and then they can't get out because I have put Vaseline around the inside lip.
Oh, she's a cheater.
I'm now going to put
Cheater.
adhesive labels on it, one on the top part and one on the wing.
Huh.
By looking at loose roaches, I've learned all sorts of things. I've learned that males and females act very differently at night. Females go in a lot earlier than males, and males seem to just sort of hang around after midnight. I've learned that cockroaches tend to stay in one particular spot. I was rather surprised to learn this. I thought they would be all over the place. But you can go back night after night and find your same numbered individuals in the very same locations.
A race car.
I'll show you a few of my more popular experimental animals. This one, perhaps, is my favorite. These are feeling rather frisky today. These are the hissing cockroach from Madagascar. It goes under the scientific name of Gramphater rhinoportentosa. You may be able to hear this little one hissing. These particular animals are favorite pets for entomologists because they're quite harmless, and many people find them very frightening, so you can scare all of your colleagues with these cockroaches. This is your common garden variety cockroach, the cockroach that occurs in just about everybody's kitchen, at least in the city of New York and many places in the Northeast. Cockroaches are a nice little bundle of fat and protein that make a very attractive source of food for a lot of animals.
Oh, hell no.
I've never thought that cockroaches were really attractive as a food source, but there are people in the world that eat them. I have heard that in the Far East, people stuff cockroaches with all this spicy stuff and then serve them live on a platter and catch them with their chopsticks.
Ew.
Cockroaches have a rather interesting sex life that tends to make them even more difficult to get rid of. Female cockroaches, when they first molt, produce this odor that male cockroaches think is just wonderful.
If you type drawing into the comment bar there, you're
the male
entered into a
backs
drawing
into a
for free,
female,
no purchase
and
necessary.
they are mated. He gives her a supply of sperm that may last 4 or 5 months or may last her entire adult life. Therefore, if you get rid of the males in the population, you don't cure the problem at all, because one male around just once can make the females fertile almost forever. People are always surprised to learn that cockroaches are really pretty clean animals. They're covered with this exoskeleton, and on this exoskeleton are little spikes and pores, and it is through these pores that they really perceive the world. Therefore, it behooves them to keep themselves clean, and they're constantly cleaning themselves.
Oh yeah, they're real clean.
They are about as dirty as their surroundings. If your house is absolutely filthy, your cockroaches will be absolutely filthy. The great thing about working with roaches is they're cheap and they're plentiful, and when they die, you just throw them away. There goes 279.
After seeing that piece of film, we want to know more about cockroaches.
Ew.
And we were sure you would too. So we invited an expert, entomologist, Dr. Betty Faber.
Betty Faber. All right, people, enter the word drawing into the comment bar.
Why do you study cockroaches?
Well,
Why
I
not?
love to study cockroaches because I don't have to come in on the weekend to water them.
She's
And for
weird.
me, that's just
She's
great.
just weird.
Why are cockroaches such a successful species?
Because they happen to like the same things that people like. At least these few species of cockroaches do.
Like what?
Nice, warm apartments, an occasional empty beer can. They love those things.
Could we take some out? Would you?
Okay, I brought a whole slew of cockroaches, all different kinds.
We can see
And
that.
this
The murder
particular
of
one
crows.
is the one from Madagascar that was on that film.
Yes.
Now this, here's one for you.
Yeah, that's nice.
It makes a real hissing sound.
I don't like spiders and snakes.
No, you don't have to make him angry.
I never knew that.
Can you
These
hear
are
that
from
sound?
Samoa.
These are from Madagascar.
Here,
Madagascar.
here,
Madam,
Oh, I get to hold them too? Oh, that's true. Oh.
Oh my God, they're wet. Oh
Okay, got it.
Oh, he's right there.
Now, what?
He's a trooper. What are these little bugs in here?
Well, now this was a blessed event. One of the mother cockroaches in this particular jar, her egg case hatched on the plane on the way over here. So these are baby cockroaches.
Oh, that's amazing. Look at that.
How many do they have at a time?
This particular kind has 32 babies in an egg case.
For sure. Well, this is lovely. And
Yeah, but you're missing a few.
Yes, no, I really like the little devils. They're real cute. I really think
Nobody's ever said that about
She's
my
a
research before.
I just love those little baby cockroaches. Aren't they cute? They're so cute.
When That's Incredible comes back, you'll find out how it feels to meet the twin brother you've been separated from for 39 years.
And
All
you'll
right,
see
people,
Steve
all you have
Baker
to do is
parachute from a
enter the
plane
word
at
drawing into the
12,000
comment
feet.
chat bar there,
He'll be handcuffed
and you're
and in a
automatically
police
entered
restraining
into
jacket.
the second drawing.
If you cannot
Only
escape
3
within
people in that bucket
28
right
seconds, you will not be able to pull the
now. Pretty
ripcord.
good odds.
To find out just how identical
No
identical
purchase
twins are, we invited identical twins to be with us.
Would you welcome, please, Joanne and Jean Long. Joanne and Jean. Joanne and Jean?
No.
Jean and Joanne. I knew it was one or the other. I almost memorized it when I met you this afternoon by
close.
the freckles on your face. The only thing I can tell
Odds
is
were
different.
good.
Are you the same weight?
No.
Who's heavier?
Me. Joanne.
How come?
I eat more.
Do you exercise
Obvious.
more?
Yeah, I'm on a gymnastics team, so
You get more exercise?
yeah.
Yes.
She eats.
All right. We're talking about 2 or 3 pounds.
It's
there, I
balanced.
assume,
One
yeah.
eats, one exercises. Right?
Oh my God.
How to nail your sister on national television.
It's dogged up.
The whole thing here about twins feeling pain. If one person feels it, have you ever experienced that?
I don't know. Let's find out.
You have.
No, I
When I
didn't
got my
feel that.
tonsils out, she would feel it. I had a sore throat for about 2 days.
But you didn't have to have your tonsils
No,
out.
no.
You ever play tricks on your friends? Like Joanne would go and meet the guy, and then next time Jean would show up?
Yeah. If she didn't like the guy and I did, I'd go and she'd stay home.
That's harsh.
Wouldn't that be, that's a fantasy. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, I know his
The only way
fantasy
to measure
is
the relative importance of heredity and environment
not doing this
is to
interview.
study twins, especially when they've been separated.
This happens very rarely, but last year, a set of identical twins who had been separated at the age of 5 weeks found each other after 39 years.
Both
Which is
named
the
Jim.
strongest factor? Heredity
That's
or
crazy.
environment? Were the twins the same? Were they different?
At his home in Dayton, Ohio, a man tells us a little bit about himself.
My name is James Springer. I was born in Pickaway, Ohio on August 19th, 1939.
In Elida, Ohio, another man tells of his life.
My name is James Edward Lewis. I was born in Pickaway, Ohio on August 19th, 1939. I've been married twice. My first wife's name was Linda. My second wife's name was Betty. I have been married 3 times. My first wife was Linda. My second wife was Betty. And my present wife is Sandy. I have 2 adopted brothers, one by the name of Larry and one by the name of Gary. I have 2 adopted brothers, one named Larry and the other one named Tim. I have 1 son that is named James Allen Lewis. I have a son named James Allen.
I remember
in
this
high school.
episode.
My favorite subject was math. The best school subject I had was math. My favorite place to vacation is St. Petersburg, Florida. Favorite spot for vacationing was St. Petersburg Beach, Florida. I've had law enforcement training and various types of training in law enforcement. I went to a law enforcement school and did some
It
special
sounds kind of messed up
courses
from
with
the
the
video,
State
but I guess in
Patrol
this
Academy.
case it don't matter.
And my favorite
All the
hobbies
same
is
story.
carpentry and blueprinting. My hobbies are carpentry and blueprinting. Presently, I have a dog named Toy. When I was a child, I had a pet dog by the name of Toy. My favorite drink is Miller's Light and Pepsi. And the thing that I smoke most of all is a filtered cigarette. I smoke a filtered cigarette, and I drink Miller's Light beer. I have trouble with high blood pressure. Other than that, I have good health. I have high blood pressure, but other than that, my health's good.
My God, I totally
When
remember
Jim Lewis was
watching
being
this
adopted,
in Temecula.
his mother overheard someone say they named the other little boy Jim too.
Wow.
Now, for many years, the remark tugged at her, and from time to time, she'd suggest that, why doesn't Jim find out if he did indeed have a twin?
And finally, Jim did. Last year, he contacted the court where his adoption papers were filed. Jim Springer's parents were then contacted.
They told their Jim about the call, and a few days later, an emotional reunion took place.
Today, Jim Springer and his family make frequent visits to the home of their new relatives. The two families have grown ever closer. They found that they share many common interests and have developed between them a powerful bond of love. This is especially true for the reunited brothers. Both had always felt in their lives a certain undefinable lack.
Now, there's always been something all my life missing. It just wasn't quite complete. And until after the first time we met, I never had that feeling since. And when we met one another, it was not like he was meeting a stranger for the first time. It was really a brotherly feeling.
There is evidence of telepathic powers.
Here a couple weeks ago, Jim was supposed to come up to my house, and I knew he wasn't going to make it up. For some reason, I just had a feeling he wasn't going to make it. And the night before that he was supposed to come up, he called and said he was sick and he couldn't make it.
We were on our way up here one Sunday afternoon, and Jim's shoulder started hurting him. And when we got here, Jim had told us that he had sprained his shoulder at work.
There's been several incidents like little things. You know, it does make you wonder if there isn't something there.
Everyone in both families has found that their lives have been somehow enriched.
Both sides of the families get along just beautiful. It's really amazing how everyone does get along, just like one big happy family.
I'm going to make this video private again and re-edit it and re-upload it and fix that sound.
For
if
Jim
there is, in
and
fact,
for
a
his
problem
brother,
with the sound.
the experience of reuniting has
It
been
might
a
be my
source
end.
of incredible joy.
I think
What
there's an
about
issue
you,
with the
ma'am? Do
sound.
you believe identical twins are totally alike?
I most certainly do.
Huh. How about you?
No way. She's always wrong.
We were recently told about a very unusual building. You won't believe the weird way that it attracts customers.
And if that doesn't whet your appetite, we might mention that it also involves 50 tons of creeping, crawling concrete.
There's something incredible here that's catching people's eyes.
Wow. I don't know. I've never seen anything like that before.
That's incredible.
We're at the Arden Way Shopping Center in Sacramento, California. Here, there's an unusual building that doesn't seem to have any windows or any doors. One corner of the building looks like it might have been damaged. Bricks have an appearance of a slightly darker shade of gray, and 4 of them are mysteriously missing. Nearly every day, at a little before 10 a.m., people can be seen there just waiting for something to happen.
Hey, it is opening. Look, it's
This 50-ton notch of sliding concrete is the world's most incredible door. It's the entrance to the Best Products building, a catalog showroom.
I've never seen a building do this before, not a store anyway. Not this early in the morning.
Every evening at 9 o'clock, The door puts the building to bed. With time-lapse photography, the 3-minute process takes place in a matter of seconds.
At the end of our show last week, we told you that Steve Baker was going to pull off an incredible escape.
And I'm sure you're all wondering how he made out. So here's the incredible story as it took place near Lake Elsinore, California.
Uh-oh.
Steve Baker, one of the world's most daring escape artists, is about to risk his life.
He's dead.
But first, he must give his parachute a final close check.
The cameras are nearly ready. And for all involved, the tension of anticipation is beginning to build.
Fly higher.
All right, Bobby.
Go higher.
About ready to do this? Ready. Okay, Bob.
Okay, there,
You're
Bob.
on here. Take off the cape.
Soon, Steve Baker will make a death-defying free-fall parachute jump.
We'll have to research this
His
guy.
equipment, however, will not be completely standard. He will leave the plane handcuffed.
In order to open his parachute, Steve will first have to free himself from the handcuffs while falling through space.
Once his parachute is completely strapped on, the handcuffs will be locked to his wrists. But that's just one of the things that Steve will have to contend with.
Is you all in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this the sheriff helping us?
The handcuffs are locked on by a police officer.
Security officer.
Standard police cuffs. They have a double lock
So
on
it's
them.
the
One
cop's
is the
fault if
ratchet,
this guy dies. Hey, he
which
put
we
the
just
cuffs
gripped.
on him. He's liable.
The other is
It's
the
an
lock
officer.
and key
Isn't that
on
awesome?
the back plate.
Elsinore, baby.
I now have been double locked into a set of handcuffs.
And so if I die, it's this cop's
He's now
fault.
going to place a transport jacket over the top of this.
Lake Elsinore police.
This is a transport jacket. It's what they use to
Did you
transport
see that
prisoners
arm? Lake
who
Elsinore
are a lot of
police.
trouble. They handcuff them and place him in this very unit.
Oh, jeez. A straight
The
jacket.
constraining jacket is wrapped around Steve's body as tightly as is physically possible.
He's already taken those cuffs off right now as we speak.
The moment of
He's
truth
pulling out
is
the
drawing
key.
closer.
He's undoing the lock. Now he's just got to get out of this fucking thing. And if he's done his work, he's pushed himself out so that he's got extra room inside there to get out of this thing once he's outside. But his hands should be free by this point. He should have already gotten his hands out of the cuffs and
As the plane gradually
be working
ascends to
on
an
how he's
altitude of
gonna get out of this
12,000 feet,
restraint jacket.
Steve's crew makes their final
Up he goes.
preparations for the daring jump.
right off Corridon.
Everyone feels the tension now. Everyone but Steve.
Oh, I know what he's feeling. He's feeling those cuffs.
The plane has nearly reached the critical altitude. Steve Baker must now face the greatest risk he has ever taken. If he succeeds,
Higher,
he will set
higher.
a world's record that few will be eager to challenge. Part of Steve's crew will also jump. They'll stabilize his fall and film
Who is
the
that
event.
guy?
It's almost time to go. The plane is now in position. Once he leaves the plane, Steve Baker will have less than half a minute to free himself
that
from
was
the
canyon
handcuffs and the restraining jacket, and then open his parachute.
If he doesn't do it in time, Steve could easily lose his life.
Oh yeah, just done. Here we go.
Steve Baker is about to risk his life. He is
Staker.
handcuffed and bound in a restraining jacket. Once he jumps, he'll have 28 seconds to free himself, and then open his chute.
That's it. The point of no return. Hey, I'm free.
He's off.
He's off. He's not off.
Two jumpers hold him to keep him from spinning.
He's like, let me loose. I can't get out. Let me loose.
10 seconds have elapsed. He still isn't out of the handcuffs.
Let me loose. They're holding it. They're pulling it so that he can squeeze out.
There, he's out. 10
of
seconds to go.
toothpaste. Yeah.
He's got the jacket off just in time. His life now depends on the parachute.
Well. How did he get out of there? How did he get out of there?
He did it. Way to go, Steve.
On the ground, it's time for celebration.
Let's have some champagne! What can I say? That's
Face first.
Not all of our stories deal with the sensational, the unexplained,
see,
and the
they put the
unexplored.
cuffs on him.
We're also interested in stories
before he
which
got into
deal
the
with
plane.
relationships. For instance,
So
the
he was taking
incredible
those cuffs
relationship
off
between humans
before
and
the
dogs.
plane even took off.
Our next story is one of those. It's about a man named Cece and a dog named Chester, and a medical miracle.
Chester began limping here for a couple of days, and we kept watching him, and he finally just fell down. When in fact we thought he had a heart attack. He couldn't walk, he couldn't drag, or anything, he just gave up. So we had to carry him and load him in the automobile, take him over to Dr. Ralston. We didn't think we'd ever bring him back home. We thought we'd have to put him to sleep. We got over to the vet. We had to unload him, carry him in like a baby. And Dr. Ralston looked at him and said, all I said at once, well, we'll treat him with this aquapunch.
The story of Chester is that he came in a lot of pain and was totally paralyzed, his back end, and he had no control over his bowels or his kidneys. And the gentleman was very depressed about his chances of survival. So after I talked to him for a while about it, we decided to go ahead with acupuncture.
I gave the dog an enema.
We're going to put these needles into these particular points.
Three tennis balls
The reason we use this particular point here is because Chester's problem is basically lack of circulation, circulation that's necessary to heal this. For example, this point we're treating right here is on the bladder meridian, and it's the kidney association point. It causes the animal to secrete his own cortisone to help in overcoming this condition. We're ready to start giving him from what we call microcurrent. The ancient Chinese said, we have one disease, congestion, one cure, circulation. And if we look at that from the standpoint of acupuncture, we can see how we could take a point above a place where there was congestion and a point below a place where there was congestion, and then flowing energy back and forth between these 2 points. Then we have a very good chance to open this, break up the congestion and open up this channel of energy flow so that the body can cure itself. And that's what it's all about.
Hook me up.
But you got him on his feet, and you got so he could stand. And then he got so he'd, if I hold his tail a little bit, he could walk, just really walk. He's kept improving, and he's doing real well. He's walking, he's running from one side of the yard to the other. We love the old dog.
At the end of every show, we ask you to let us know if you've seen or done anything incredible.
Well, the mail
Yeah,
has
but
been
I can't tell
pouring
you
in.
about it.
We received this letter from North Judson, Indiana. My name is Mike Sarkozy Jr., and I have a very incredible dad.
There's a lot of people that'll come up and hear about it and ask me if it's so. I tell them, but they still won't believe it. And about the only way they can believe it is if they see it. And about the only way I can show it to them is to go through the procedure and let them see it, and then what they see is what they believe.
Mike Jr. continues, I've seen my dad do his little thing for years. Now this is it. He passes his bare hand through melted metal. He does this just for the fun of it, and I know he would enjoy doing it for your show.
We're in Mike Sarkozy's foundry in Knox, Indiana.
Yeah.
Mike is 62 and has worked in a foundry for over 40 years. In that time, he's learned a lot about handling molten metal and has gained a rare knowledge of its secrets and its dangers.
All right,
Now I'm gonna flash it to see if it's hot enough, and then we'll check it with the probe. All right. Looks good enough. Now let me check it with your pyrometer to see if the temperature's up there. She's about 1400.
Don't do that with steel, molten steel.
The younger men at the foundry have an enormous respect for Mike Sarkozy's knowledge and experience.
This is just
He can do things with red-hot molten metal, seemingly magical things that few men would ever dare try.
It cools quick. By the time he touches it, it's already cool.
Now don't raise up yet. Okay, you get ready with your handle. Where's the safety pin? Okay.
The pot contains molten aluminum. Its temperature is 1600 degrees Fahrenheit. It'll instantly set a stick on fire. But what about Mike's finger? Watch.
Sticks his finger up his nose. See, no problem.
Let's see that in slow motion. Mike puts his finger right through it. Fearless Mike Sarkozy will even put his entire hand directly through the super hot liquid metal. Watch.
Fearless. He's fearless Mike Sarkozy. Has he got a shirt?
Remember, the temperature of the metal is 1600 degrees.
Wow. But look, as soon as he hits it, it cools.
Give me a cigarette.
Mike's hand is hot, but not injured.
Now, give me your cigarette.
And he's got calluses.
I'm dying for a smoke.
There's one final touch to the performance. Lighting a cigarette with the spilled molten metal.
You know, he died of cancer.
Amazingly, Mike's hand has not suffered in the slightest.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
Suck it up, dude.
That was incredible. And here's the man who wrote us, Mike Sarkozy Jr.
Jacob.
And here's the man he wrote about,
Dude,
his
that
dad,
sounds
Mike
totally
Sarkozy
cool.
Sr.
I guess you could build like a rocket stove, right? As long as you have the right cauldron. That would be cool, man.
Mr. Sarkozy, how long have you been doing this?
Oh, about 46 years, ever since I was 16 years old.
At 16, you tried this?
Right. I started off in a foundry as an apprentice, and I seen my supervisor do this.
What?
And I figured if he can do it, I'll try it.
Why?
So when he wasn't around, I tried it. I got more dareable. I kept doing it more often, and he caught me.
What'd he do?
Fired me.
What's the secret?
There is no secret, but like with me, I've done it so long, I know my metal. The metal has to be perfectly pure. I mean, there can't be no impurities in it.
If there are impurities in the molten metal, what would happen to your hand?
Stick.
Well, all right, that impurity in that metal, if I don't clean it, and when I run my hand through it, it'll stick, just like tar or honey.
And burn it.
And it'll burn the flesh off.
Mike and Mike, thank you very much for being with us.
Oh, it was a pleasure.
There you go. Exactly, Jacob. I'll pass.
When we come back, you'll see how the study of blood spatters on a wall helps solve a crime.
And we'll have an update on another incredible police procedure. Some weeks ago, we showed you this reconstruction of a murder victim's skull. Since that time, the victim has been identified.
Wow, that's incredible.
This looks like blood,
Looks like clay.
but it isn't.
It's the liquid mixture used to simulate blood in motion pictures.
But it looks enough like real blood to have been used in a series of incredible experiments.
As a result of these experiments, a murder was uncovered and solved.
But this wasn't in the movies. It was the real thing.
That's totally insane.
At the Orlando, Florida coroner's office, blood spatter expert Judy Bunker.
I've burned myself with molten solder.
We try to
falling,
demonstrate
melting
what
down
happens
on a bare
with
leg.
blood. What happens
I still
when
got a scar.
blood drops or falls.
Happened when I was a teenager.
This is blood that is dropped from a 3-foot height. Directionality.
Nice curtain.
When a person is bleeding and moving from one room to another. Are they heading in a westerly direction?
Ah, geez,
Are
I
they
cut
standing
myself.
still? What happens when a bloody object strikes a surface? You can move the table away and
Isn't she
still
worried about
come back
getting
and
stuff
look at your
on her
vertical target
splash?
and put them back
Shouldn't she be
together
wearing
like a
paper
picture
booties?
puzzle. And we want to demonstrate a gunshot wound. What type of spatter effect do we expect to see?
Oh, look at your toes, you'll find out.
The spatter effect is of a much higher degree. This technique is utilized by many law enforcement agencies and medical examiners' offices in the interpretation of a scene, in the interpretation or reconstruction of circumstances involving bloodshed.
In November of 1970, this house was the scene of a violent death. Michelle Cooper, the woman who lived here, reported to the police that a man she knew had committed suicide in her bedroom. The Winter Park, Florida police carefully investigated the case. It was ruled a suicide and forgotten until the case was re-examined by Detective Neil Troutman.
I've had hot molten plastic
Some 6.5 years later, I was reviewing cases contained in our records division and happened to come across this particular case file. While reading it, I sensed that something just was not right.
Horrible smell.
Detective Troutman reopened the case and enlisted the help of Judy Bunker.
The original report indicated that Michelle Cooper had been asleep in an adjacent bed when the young man shot himself. After hearing the shot, she awoke to find him falling on the floor between the beds.
The victim was found with a gunshot wound in the right side of his head, which had exited out of the left side of his head, and the bullet then lodged in the pillow. It appeared from the photograph that the staining was continuous, which would indicate to me that the pillow had not been moved and was in this position at the moment bloodshed occurred. In one of the photographs, there was one item resting across the back of his head.
It was a telephone cord.
It was apparent to me that if the phone cord had been in this position or in this area, it would have been underneath the body, since as the body is rolling off of the bed, the phone cord would be trapped underneath his head. And when we were reconstructing this scene, we kept the phone cord in position to prove that when he went off of the bed and hit the stool and then the floor, he always trapped the cord underneath him. And certain stains we saw on the clothing did not match that one would expect to see with a gunshot. We felt that the phone was in the vicinity of the victim on the floor at the time, and when the phone was moved, the cord came in contact with the subject laying on the floor. This impression stains I felt was compatible with the phone cord. The stains seen on the opposite bed were consistent with a person bleeding and rolling off the bed, striking the footstool and then the floor. We were easily able to reconstruct these stains.
Using a live subject to recreate in exact detail the events of a supposed suicide, the investigators duplicated almost perfectly the patterns of blood spatter shown on the original police photographs.
So we felt certain then that he, in fact, did roll off the bed or was turned off the bed and impacted with the footstool and then the floor. After we placed our subject in position, the position we felt was most compatible with the stains, we asked the medical examiner, Dr. Hager, to place the gun in proper position, the trajectory necessary. And when this was accomplished, our subject was unable to reach his hand up and grab a hold of the revolver and fire it.
Just lay there and bleed.
So we knew then that only another person could have been holding on to the weapon when it was discharged. I subsequently brought this to the grand jury and presented it in photographic form so that they could understand it. And when they saw by photograph that it was physically impossible for this subject to shoot himself in this position on the bed, they then returned an indictment against her.
Actually, the case was scheduled for trial, but the defendant pled guilty that particular morning and never did actually go to trial.
Wow.
What you saw may have seemed grisly, but it was effective in bringing a murderess to justice.
Some of you thought our story about the reconstruction of the human skull was equally gruesome. But it too has been instrumental in helping solve a crime.
Here's an update on that story. To refresh your memory, these are the details.
In the autumn of 1979, Dale Prinsick was grouse hunting in the woods of northern Wisconsin. Suddenly, he came upon two dead bodies, partially decomposed and completely unrecognizable.
In Marinette, Wisconsin, the local county seat, An investigation was begun by Chief Deputy Robert Coleman.
Oh, my God.
He was faced with a difficult problem.
Put that bone down.
How do you identify a human body when there are no fingerprints and no witnesses to the murder?
The police looked for help from an unusual new source.
A unique method of identification was performed by medical artist Betty Gatliff and University of Oklahoma anthropology professor Dr. Clyde Snow.
Yeah, we're gonna hook up these
The technique is known as facial reconstruction.
With the skull of an unidentified person and a knowledge of their sex, race, and approximate age, the face of that person can be accurately recreated.
Get out of here.
It's a painstaking process that can take several days, but it has often been successful.
Often.
Dr. Snow offers his conclusions about the mysterious Wisconsin case.
My conclusions, and those of Professor Bennett, was that this is the skull of an adult female, probably somewhere in her upper 20s or up to about 40 years of age. 5'3" to 5'6", white, with probably a strong to moderate American Indian admixture.
I hope that they'll use all three. I think they should print all three. We need a profile.
In February of this year, photographs of the skull were published.
Since receiving the information from Betty Gatliff, we've released the photos to the press and have received several positive responses. We are very hopeful at this time that we are going to be able to identify her.
Several weeks ago, we showed you these pictures and asked if anyone could supply any information regarding the identity of this mysterious murder victim. Well, now there's more to the story.
A chain reaction triggered by the newspaper photograph of Betty Gatliff's startling recreation of the murdered woman brought a dramatic new development to this baffling mystery. The woman has been identified. Her name was Mary Bartels from Saginaw, Michigan. She was 29 years old and the mother of 2.
Saginaw cheese.
Now, with this new knowledge, Chief Deputy Robert Coleman and his men could, in time, apprehend the person who shot Mary Bartels and her daughter and close the case.
I don't think
and here's the Chief Deputy of Marinette County, Wisconsin, Robert Coleman.
Anybody not seeing that?
Bob, may I call you Bob? What were the actual steps which led to the identity of the murdered woman?
Well, John, our department received information from a young man who was hospitalized in Marquette, Michigan. While there, he received a newspaper containing the photographs of the facial reconstruction.
Wow. We saw that newspaper picture, yeah.
He showed the photographs to several other patients at the hospital, and one of them thought that she recognized the woman as a former companion of hers from Bay City, Michigan.
Is that right?
We contacted the Bay City police, and they, being close to Saginaw, knew that Saginaw had 2 missings who closely resembled our victims. We contacted Saginaw, exchanged information, and ultimately identified our victims.
I don't get it.
We'll be back in just a moment to pay our respects to a lady named Anna Jarvis and a flock of folk named Luke, who are branches of a most incredible family tree. Anna Jarvis was a feisty little woman whose perseverance paid off in 1914 when the Congress of the United States officially recognized what has become one of our favorite annual celebrations, Mother's Day. By a happy coincidence, we recently filmed this story of an American family who personify that sentimental holiday in an endearing and, yes, incredible manner. And it all begins with this chubby little toddler.
5-month-old Matthew Luke tied a world record just by being born. His mother, Kimberly, was justifiably proud. So was his father, Mr. Mark Luke. So were the other members of the Luke clan. Merrill and Gloria Miller, Matthew's maternal grandparents, Warren and Wilma Luke, Matthew's paternal grandparents, Dr. Ernest and Elsie Hoffer, Matthew's maternal great-grandparents, William and Sarah Schenkel, Matthew's paternal great-grandparents, John and Edith Miller, Matthew's other great-grandparents, along with Charles and Dorothy Luke, and Mabel Luke, Matthew's great-great-grandmother.
Holy
Matthew has a record number of 15 ascendants, 5 generations in all. Recently, they posed for a group photograph. Matthew and 89-year-old great-great-grandma Mabel were the guests of honor. Grandma Mabel hasn't seen Matthew since shortly after he was born. It's time for the photograph now.
I want you to wink again.
Wink again, one more time.
We know who we are from our roots. I know that on both sides, Kim's family and Mark's family, there are family trees that go back to the 1500s on both sides. For generations, we know who we are.
Great-great-grandmother Mabel Luke can still vividly recall her early homesteading days in Loretta, South Dakota. That time set the stage for the latest chapter of this truly incredible family.
We would like to extend our best wishes to the Luke family and to your families.
And to our
7
families,
viewers.
we wish them a wonderful Mother's
Type drawing
Day,
into
and
the
most
comment
especially
bar
to each
to
of
enter
our
the
own
drawing. No
mothers
purchase
and
necessary.
my grandmother.
As soon as I get to 10 viewers, I'll hold the drawing. You're at 7 viewers. You're giving flowers. Give me a
Smoking.
Brad.
How many times have you tried to break that habit?
Smoking?
My name is Joey Winters. I'm 38 years old. I've come all the way from California to Baltimore to quit smoking. I've been smoking for 25 years, and I'm ready to quit. With the help of this cure and this doctor, I can throw away cigarettes forever.
The solution that I inject into the patients is a solution that I make from various known solutions. Solutions of vitamins, solutions of minerals, solution of protein. You put them together, the right proportion, and that is what's injected.
In the weeks to come, we'll follow Dr. Neil Solomon's 5 cases of serious smokers who are trying a last-ditch cure. Will it work?
Not the ear. Poked by a lot of needles.
Next week, it'll be business as usual. The incredible business of risking life and limb to bring you what you've never seen before.
Dar Robinson is firing up his motorcycle to make an incredible jump over 30 vans. And what happens to him in midair is even more incredible.
We'll hear the mating call of that racy garden Romeo, the snail.
And you'll meet this fine young athlete. She's a track star, despite the fact that she is totally blind.
There's a revolutionary way to renovate your teeth and give you a Hollywood-type smile. You'll see.
I bet that skier was on Elsinore, too, right?
And remember, if any of you have seen something incredible or do something incredible yourself, we'd like to hear from you.
If you can show it
Drop
on
us
TV.
a line at Post Office Box 25989, Los Angeles, zip code 90025.
Somebody write
and
that
please
down.
include your telephone number.
Thank you, and a special
viewers,
thanks to
come on. 2 more and we can hold
WDTN
the
in
drawing.
Dayton, Ohio.
Type drawing into the
WRTV,
comments,
Indianapolis, Indiana,
and
and
you are automatically
WLUK,
entered.
Green Bay,
No purchase
Wisconsin, for their
necessary.
contributions to our program.
Thank you, everybody.
We'll contact
and good
you
night.
if you win.
We'll look forward to seeing you soon.
Free
Good night.
shipping in the United States.
That's my boy that said that.
Thursday night is loaded with laughs on ABC. Mork could wind up attached to a ball and chain when he helps a jailbird fly the coop on Mork and Mindy. Then Marcy goes to pieces when a beautiful blonde goes after her job on Benson. On Friday, the woman who knows the stars best, Hollywood columnist Rona Barrett, presents Bo Derek, Larry Hagman, Kenny Rogers, Christy McNichol, and their mothers in an exciting behind-the-scenes Mother's Day special, That's My Mom. Later, watch a hilarious romantic comedy, 6 singles
see
seeking
10
love,
pop
bear
up,
their desires
we're
at a video
holding the
dating
drawing.
service, the newest way to find
Even
a
if
mate.
it doesn't stay
Enjoy
at
The
10.
Love Tape, starring Loretta Swit, Larry Wilcox, Marriott Hartley, and Martin Balsam. A world television premiere this Friday on ABC.
Okay, people, so this is available in my playlist. Watch it at your own risk. I am going to go back and do the redacted version and try to line up the sound.
That's incredible.
Because for me, the sound's not working. It might be different if somebody else plays it from the playlist. But we will have to see. We're going to have to see. Thank you for showing up this morning. This is Mornings with Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy. This is, I think, episode Hey, dog. This is episode 22, I think. Episode 27. Oh my gosh, this is episode 27 of season 3. Yes, there are 2 other seasons of this crap. Tonight we will have episode 12 of Nighttime Nonsense and Nostalgia. It's a new program. I'm here today giving thanks to my 100 plus subscribers. I think I'm at 112 subscribers now on YouTube. And the plan was, of course, when I get to 100, was to hold my first live event. But I've been live since December. So here I am saying thank you. Yes, I'm at 112 subscribers. I officially have 222 videos on my channel, much of which is live. We're getting upwards of 100 videos or more at this point that are live in the mornings, not to mention the other live stuff that I've got going on. I've got a lot of stuff happening on my playlists, so be sure to stop by and check it out. We have people that have showed up this morning and who have not typed drawing into the chat box, which is unfortunate if you hang around and you watch and you don't, because that's not going to give you an opportunity to win. If I can't see your name there, then I don't know how to sign you up and cut you out of this paper here and put you in this box. I think what we'll do now is let's read some more names from my Facebook friends list who have been entered to win just by association. That's all they had to do, was know me and be on my friends list. And so into the box, 10 more people go. All right. And we have Milo Daly, a great hip-hop artist who is local. Michelle Mondre, who is my sister-in-law. Kelly Vella. All right, she is an old buddy from junior high and high school in our hometown, as is Joe LeDuc, as is Art Perez, as is Charles Karinga, Blaine Sugg, Chris Osterman, and Lisa Hilbert, all from hometown Elsinore. And then, of course, Chris Thomas out there in Colorado, a new buddy, one of those friends from Facebook groups. I believe he and I first became associated in an 8-track cassette lovers group, right? Which, if you win the drawing, I'll get with you personally and curate a little gift pack for you. And it is possible that you could go home with some 8-track tapes, some LPs, some cassettes, 45s, 78s. If I'm feeling really, really nice, I could throw in a reel from a reel-to-reel player, right? So here go these 10 names into the popcorn bucket. And basically I'll hold it up over my head and reach in. And so we got to 8. We were pretty close, I think. I'll hold this up over my head and reach in, grab a handful, whittle that handful down in my fingers to 1, and then pull it out and go, hey, you are the winner. So I have 8 more names to read off and put in this bucket. And I have only 3 names. 3 names so far on the second drawing. That second drawing is going to be real easy to win for these 3 people. They got pretty good odds. All right? Those pretty good odds that you're going to win somebody there. Awesome sauce. And be sure, Brandy, if you're still watching, be sure to let me know if you have a record player at home. All right? Because I do have some records that I could send you. And if that's the case, then awesome. I'll send you some records. And I've got some of the old man's records I could send you as well. So, cool beans. And if you don't have a record player, well, they're not too expensive over there at Walmart. You just have to remember that if you're playing old records, you have to have the turntable with the anti-skew on the arm, and it has to have the balance weight so that you can put weight forward and put anti-skew on it and keep it from skipping around the LP, right? Because the older the record gets, the harder it is to stay in the groove, man. Don't I know it? Right? Oh, good. You have a record player. Okay, cool. Well, whether you win or not, of course, you're gonna wind up getting something in the mail, and I will get with you at some point and figure out how to get that to you. Because I got so many records, and I know you love to listen to old stuff like me, so that'll be cool. We are still holding at 6. We bounced up to 8 viewers. So as soon as I see the number 10, or if anybody sees the number 10 for a brief second, then let me know. And you have to be honest. And then we will, because honesty is the best policy, of course. And then we'll hold a drawing. I'll chop up those last 8 names and throw them in the popcorn bucket. This popcorn bucket we got at the drive-in theater out here. And Smith Ranch Drive-In is open again. They finally got their technical issues dealt with. Don't I know about technical issues? I had them this morning before my show started. Oh, cool, you're in the same place. All right. Awesome. Awesome sauce. Yeah, cool. The drive-in out here is really, really cool. It's old school. The only thing that's not old school is you listen to everything on the radio or a Bluetooth or something, right? Or on your phone if you have a radio app, right? So that's the only difference. But I having an old van with a bitchin' stereo in it, I just fucking crank that thing up. So I could be the speaker for the whole fucking place with my van. Swing those back doors open, lay down on the back bed, and fucking bam. And that reminds me that I will be putting the finishing touch as soon as I can get to the drive-in and get to get to Hollywood at the end of the month and get some shots in Hollywood, some video and photographs. Then I will be putting the finishing touches on my music video, Let's Go to the Movies. I have gotten back the music from David with the harmonica added. It sounds awesome. I just need to put it back together with the original video and save it as a complete raw video with the new sound added, and then take the video that he sent me of him playing harmonica and use some of that and a bunch of other elements for this video, and it's just going to be fantastic. It's called Let's Go to the Movies, and it is about that exactly. And it is I played the song for my brother before I had the harmonica added to it, and he was like, this is you recorded this, you wrote this, and that was a big compliment. The fact that he was so surprised that it was me entirely, all the music. The only thing that wasn't was David ran out and grabbed his acoustic bass and came in and slapped out a great bass line to it live, he and I together recording it. And then later I sent the file home with him, and he added harmonica to the last half of the song, and it's beautiful. When I just recently, a couple of days ago for the first time, listened to it, and I cried. As I do when I know that something has reached or is reaching nearing completion, and I'm putting those finishing twists on it. And when I start getting emotional about something and start bawling my eyes out, then I know that I've hit that sweet spot, right? And my daughter knows it too. She looks up at me to see if I'm bawling, and it happened with my... Hi, Bessie. You want to go outside? Do you need to go outside? Big dog has woken up, so let me put her outside. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Want to go out? You want to go out? You want to go out, baby? All right. Yeah. wedgie, no wedgie, no wedgie. Arr, arr. All right, so Big Dog is outside, which means, of course, that she's going to bark in a couple of minutes and want back in. She's really learned everything she needs to know now about being here. It's been a couple of years she's been here. It took her a while to get used to being here because she's used to being alone a lot or out in the wild and not a lot of people. But she's really a special dog, as is Tootsie, the Chiweenie. And, of course, Bessie, big-faced dog there, she has attached herself to me like a barnacle. So anytime I'm in a house, she's stuck to me like glue, follows me around. She hates it when I go to the bathroom because she don't know what to do. She don't know what to do. So, yeah, a lot has been going on. We thought last month was going to be an easy month, and we were going to, relax. And then my daughter's graduation from college, and she's off to university in the fall. And then her graduation party. And then the following week, she says, hey, let's go see the Psychedelic Furs. And she drags me out to go see the Psychedelic Furs. And then Friday, we saw Starcrawler and the Velveteers at Pappy and Harriet's, and I got to meet them and get hugs and handshakes and autographs and photographs and videos, and I've got all of that stuff to share coming up later on the channel. And then she says, oh, by the way, in a week we're going to see Motion City Soundtrack, and I'm like, oh, will it ever let up? And then, of course, at the end of the month, I've got to go back to LA to take Natalie, my daughter, and her friend Charlie to see, who are they going to see? Los Campesinos. I've never heard of them, I guess they're a band that got started at university. Campesinos, right? But they're supposed to be really cool stuff, so I'll have to be checking that out. So I'm going to be dropping them off in LA at the venue, and then hopefully have somebody with me to kind of cruise around Hollywood and get shots, video shots for music videos, because I love to make music videos, and the more footage I have, the more elements I have, the easier it is to create something dynamic, right? And I can create a one-shot music video by zooming in and out and moving around the one screen, but it's still pretty sterile. Uh-oh, I got dogs bouncing around. Let me go check the situation out. And this is live, so, the missus could wake up at any time. Just a second. Oh, yeah. I'm sure that now the dog's going to bark in one end. That's usually the way it works. I'm up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah, there she goes. Correct. I guess it's La Hora de Woof Woof. Everybody was, like on the Aristocats, right? Is that the one? Where the dogs bark and bark and bark and pass messages along, right? If I recall correctly, that's the movie, The Aristocats, where the dogs have like a chain like smoke signals, only with barking. What you saying, Lafayette? Totally. Well, yeah, good. The dog settled down. Don't wake up the missus yet. Let her sleep in till at least 8 o'clock, right? Or 9 or 10 or something. She's usually up and out and busy and doing stuff. So we're holding steady at 6. We reached 8. As soon as I see that number 10, we will hold a drawing. And then I will be back in the evening, a nighttime nonsense and nostalgia, for the rest of the telethon and the second drawing. And the same thing, we get to 10, and I'm going to hold a drawing. And then at some point I'll get with the winners and kind of hand select some items from my collection of vintage stuff. So depending on what your likes are from the 70s and 80s, you could get any number of things. Toys, games, novelty things, records, tapes, books, magazines. Oh, magazines. I got so many magazines. TV. Want a TV guide? Give me a year and I'll give you a TV guide. Yeah, I've just got some great stuff. I mean, and the more I think about the things that I have, the more bizarre these gift packets get, right? And then I have to rein it in. I have to hold back. It's like, oh, don't give away too much stuff, because you've got some more giveaways to do down the road. And I'm thinking 500 subscriber giveaway. We're going to get into some small electronics, right, from the 1970s and 80s. And that'll be neat. I got to check on the dogs again. I got a dog clicking around, probably wants to come out and get a drink. I'll be right back. Look, I swear, Oliver, I've got nothing. Come here. Come here. Come here. I have no food. Look, see? There's no food here. I got nothing. Good morning. I have coffee. You want a coffee kiss? Oh, you're such a junkie. There. That's all you're getting out of me is a coffee kiss. That's it. You're so cute. Oh, you're just adorable. You little monkey fish. You little monkey fish. He is well, all of my dogs are adopted. They were all, for some reason, nobody wanted them or couldn't have them any longer. And that's why they're here. And Oliver, he's a little kind of weird guy. He's a weird little guy. He's a loner. Let's see, we got to let Sam in now. Dogs don't know what they want. Well, I don't know. Do I want to go back outside? Do I want some water? Do I want to hang out? Do I want to go to bed? I don't know. What do I want to do? Well, just let me accommodate you whenever you decide, doggies, because I am a doggy doorman. That's what I do. I open and close doors, give water, food. How are you, Sam? Come here, Sam. Come here. Come here. Come here. Say good morning. Come here and say good morning. Hi, buddy. How? This is Sam. He's my bestest buddy. He is the master of the household. He is in charge. And he is the sweetest guy in the world, unless he wants to play and then he's a terror. He is just the sweetest guy. I don't know why he was running around on the streets, but he was when we found him 6 years ago. He was just running around on the streets, 6 or 7 years now. Middle of the rainstorm, this little guy is running around the streets, running up and down the streets in the pouring rain. And we noticed him running because we were kind of up on a hill, and we noticed him down on these streets. Right? It's like, look at that dog out there. And then he was gone. And there's that dog again. Then he was gone. And I took my wife to the library and dropped her off. And then later on, I had to go back and get her. So she calls and says, okay, I'm ready to come home. So I get in my little Zinger, my little Geo Metro, and I pull out onto the street. And as soon as I get out of the drive and onto the street, I'm looking out onto the street, and sitting right in the middle of the street in front of our drive is that dog, this guy, that dog that was running around in the streets. It's pouring rain, and he's just sitting in the middle of the street, hunched over and shivering. Just eyes closed, hunched over and shivering. And he was exhausted and scared and didn't know what the hell was going on. I'm going to cry telling this story. And so I'm like, oh my God, you're killing me, dude. And so I park my car right there in the middle of the street and walk over to him, and he growls at me. I know you hate it when I tell this story. So he growls at me, shows me his teeth, and I try to reach for him, and he doesn't want to have anything to do with me. He's just, he won't move, but he won't let me touch him. He's just, right? And so I'm like, well, what the hell am I going to do? Our trailer is right there. It's like we're like right on the street in this mobile home park. So I walk hurriedly over and go into the fridge that's outside in the little storage unit, and I grab a pack of hot dogs that's open. And I go over to him, and I start tearing pieces of hot dog and handing him hot. He won't take them, and then I set them down. And then eventually he starts taking the hot dogs pieces from my hands, right? And he's just, nom, 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 just scarfing them down. I can see that he's a little hungry. He's been out running around. And he still won't let me touch him. No matter what I do or what I give him, he won't let me touch him. So I bring him with the hot dogs over to the car, and I sit in the car and hand him pieces of hot dog. He likes to be on the side here. I bring him pieces of hot dog out to his face and lure him closer and closer and closer to the driver's seat of the car with the door open. And I try to grab for him, and he backs off and tries to bite me, right? So with one hand, I reach down with a whole hot dog. At this point, I've only given him pieces. I take this whole hot dog and I stick it in his mouth, right? And he starts chewing on this hot dog while I reach around with the other hand and scoop him up and dump him in my lap and close the door, right? He's getting all crazy, and he's like right in my face, right? And he's growling and snapping and snarling with a face full of hot dog, right? Before he has a chance to open up his mouth and bite me, I stick another hot dog in his mouth, and then I put my hands around him and I hug him in close to me, and I just start squeezing him and scratching him and petting him, right? He went from growling and shaking to fully relaxed and just sitting there in my arms chewing. And I would just, so I sat there for a few seconds with this ball of rage finally calming down, all soaking wet, cold, and I guess he figured out what was going on, that I didn't mean him any harm. And so I shoot down to the library. My wife is there waiting, and she comes out, she opens up the door and looks at this dog sitting in my lap, and she's like, no, what are you doing? And I said, he was right there in the street. I pulled out and he was right there. And I explained